rookie minicamp technically started today. More than anything, I've just heard a bunch of interviews, but overall, we're going to hear quite a bit come out of these rookie minicamps. And it's interesting to me listening to Grant go back and talk about his perspective at rookie minicamp with wide receivers specifically. He talked about how he was either able to see it right away or wasn't with wide receivers. And that basically is what they ended up being in their careers with the San Francisco 49ers since he's been covering the team. And I found that pretty interesting. I mean, I thought you could see scenarios where it's like, hey, listen, he struggled a little bit as a rookie, but he was good to go. But he's like, no, I mean, with Pettis, you saw right away, wasn't very good. Jenkins, not very good. Ayuk, very good. Debo, very good. So I found that pretty interesting. But what are you hoping to hear over the next few days from rookie minicamp?
My biggest thing is I want to hear Ricky Pearsall stands out, and I want to hear Renardo Green as a dude, because those are the two guys. When you look at like where they were projected to go, they were projected to be. If toilet man out of gold is perfect, man. If you could get me one of those, sign me up. But if you hear that he's struggling, Pearsall's struggling against man coverage, which I thought he was, or he doesn't look as fast as his 4.41, or those kind of things. Because like with the receivers and corners, you can see it right away. Like the movement skills is what you're looking for. I know you're not going to come in and win a job right away, rookie minicamp, but the movement skills, you can see that from undrafted free agents. They stand out. And that's what I want from our rookies to do, is come in and stand out. If Pearsall comes in and he looks like a scrub, that's a major disappointment, because it's probably going to end up being when he starts playing actual good corners who are in their second, fourth year, sixth year, and they actually know how to play man, press man. And that's where it gets concerning. So hopefully we don't hear Grant or anyone else say that they're concerned about Pearsall. Hopefully we hear Cowing. His speed looks crazy. Isaac Garendo, you're not going to see much from a running back. I'm not expecting nothing from him. O-line, nothing as well. So the guys are Renardo Green and Pearsall that I want to hear that they look like standouts in minicamp.
Well, not only that, but standouts against each other. Like, I want to hear it's a good battle between the two, because one thing we do know is that Renardo Green clearly had the best of him. I think he held Pearsall to one catch in 5 yards or something like that, or it was one catch in 10 yards. It wasn't good, whatever it was. So the hope is that Pearsall's kind of learned from that. He looks good against Green at times. Green looks good against him at times. You don't want to see a washing either way. I think that's one thing. And then you want to hear that Pearsall does look good against press man specifically, because that's where his weakness was. So has he worked on it? Has he improved on that? That's what I want to hear. And then Cowing, the biggest thing with him, explosive athlete, all those things, but he had a lot of drops in college. I think he had like 30 drops in college. So I want to hear that he's sure-handed in these drills and 7-on-7s, whatever they're going to be doing. I want to hear that he's sure-handed, he's not dropping the football. And then Garendo, does he look explosive? As explosive is what he tested? Because on film, I have my doubts with that. Does he look like he could be a true running back, because he went to 2 different colleges and was never the main running back? So what do they see from him? How do they work him in? Are they working him in more as a fullback? So I have lots of questions there as well. And then I want to hear about the offensive linemen as well. It's what's tough is 7-on-7s. It's very tough to get a good look at these guys. There's not going to be pads. I know it's harder, but just overall, is the feeling coming out that one or multiple of these guys are going to make the team, preferably multiple guys, whether it's the unrestricted guys or not, I don't really care, but is there roster spots for these guys? Because if there is, that tells me the offensive line, at least behind the starters, has improved, which means the future looks brighter than what it did just a few short months ago. So for me, those are the things I'm looking to hear coming out of camp specifically.
The player I'm most excited about for rookie minicamp is Mason Pline. Like, out of all the guys, like basketball background, played college basketball, transitioned to tight end, 6'7", 250, moves pretty well from what I've seen. Could high point the ball, tighter hips. Obviously, when you're 6'7", you're going to get tight hips. But can he be something in the red zone? Can he be a utility in the passing game for Brock Purdy? Can Brock Purdy rely on his jump ball abilities? Because if he can, if we get Pettis comps on Pearsall, Jesus Christ, that would be dangerous. But I don't think we should because he has more. He's aggressive over the middle, so we shouldn't be worried about that. But with Pine, like for me, it's one of those ones where we don't have a number 2 tight end. There's an easy shot 2-3 tight end. We easily, if Pine stands out, he could easily be the tight end 3 for the 49ers and be a tight end in the passing game that Kyle could see, envision years from now or a year or two where, hey, you know what? We have a number 2 tight end in the passing game. So that's who I'm most excited about because if he's able to win with his size and be able to box people out and win those kind of a bit like that, win that way, that's something we haven't had in this passing game.
Yeah, there's always this thing where the undrafted guys tend to get so much love. I think we as fans fall in love with these guys and we tend to overrate them because really those aren't the guys that remember a couple years ago it was the center. It wasn't David West. No, West, something West from Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Dante West or some
Donovan West or something like that.
Donovan West, that's what it was. Donovan West. He was getting mocked like crazy by a bunch of people, myself included, like 4th round. And then he kept falling. And then they got him as an unrestricted free agent. It was like, oh my gosh, they got Donovan West as an unrestricted free agent. Can't wait to see him. Last year, there was a couple offensive linemen. There's always a couple guys. They never pan out. So it's like, let's not get crazy with these undrafted guys. I do see a path where Pline might be able to make the team. And I could actually see a path where maybe one of these offensive linemen as well. But for the most part, these undrafted guys went undrafted for a reason. They're likely not going to make the team. So don't get overexcited. And then the flip side is if these guys look better than the guys that were drafted and they don't make the team, that could be a bit discouraging as well. And we have seen that where it does feel like an undrafted guy did look better. They tried to sneak him on the practice squad, were unable to make it work. They ended up keeping the draft pick. Maybe that didn't work out so well. So I don't know. It's kind of a catch-22 because if these guys do look better than expected as undrafted guys, well, then why do they look better than the guys that you actually drafted? That's a question as well.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I know for sure what player didn't look better than a guy that got drafted. I think Drake Nugent's going to look way better than Kingston. If they give him a true opportunity, if they give him a true opportunity to actually compete for a center or guard spot, guaranteed he's going to look better. He's a better prospect coming out from Stanford to Michigan. Like taking Kingston there was ridiculous. Like I would have either taken Nugent or my personal guy I wanted was Bo Limmer there. But hey, it is what it is now. So I want to see those my undrafted guys that I want to truly see get the opportunity to compete is Nugent. And I want to see, I truly don't want to see Tariq Owens, but Cody Schrader. I want to see him get the opportunity to compete with the running backs because we've seen what happens with the Niners when they trade up for a running back. They end up keeping the guy who they get later as an undrafted free agent. So let's see what happens there.
You know, it's interesting because him and Garindo are complete opposites, right? Because he was very productive in college, but as an athlete and how he tested, he was awful, absolutely atrocious. Garindo tested off the charts athletically, but he wasn't very productive. So you've literally got polar opposites of what these guys are. And I find that really, really interesting. Which guy will make an impact and eventually make this team? I'm very curious to see that as well. It would be a shame if Garindo doesn't make this team after trading 2 picks in round 5. Specifically round 5 for the 49ers because they always seem to hit. So they got rid of both of their lottery tickets there to go get this guy in round 4. If it doesn't hit and they end up going with Schrader or whatever, then that would be disastrous a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.